I'm only going to do half the recipe according to what the recipe says, because I don't have a big enough pot to cook 6 chicken breasts. All right, now we're cutting up onions and green peppers. We're going to put two teaspoons of oil, which is not a whole lot of oil, and I used the olive oil in our pan and get that heating up so we can saute this. And sauteing is not a bad word depending on what you saute with. You can use vegetable oil also. Olive oil is a little bit better for you. Don't ask me why. So I would use the vegetable oil. Stay away from the butter, of course, if we're trying to get healthy. Although you know my philosophy, I'd rather have a little bit than none at all. A little bit of something good rather than some of the chemical stuff that we have. So stay away from the margarines and all that kind of stuff and go for the more natural whole grain vegetable. Okay, that's chopped. And it's always better to have your oil really hot. That will take a minute to heat up. Then the food that you're cooking will not absorb as much oil if it's hot. If you have it soaking in the oil, it's going to have the time to absorb all the oil into what you're cooking and not use it for cooking, but get it back into whatever it is. So we're going to put that in. We may be able to do it. We'll talk a little bit about the brown rice. I went ahead and cooked it because we know how long it takes on the electric stove. Cooked it. Again, watch your serving size. This is the about 3 cups of it cooked, which is 1.5 cups uncooked. Now, let's put this in. Now while we've got our chicken here, and like I said, I've got 3 6-ounce breasts. We're going to put a little salt and pepper on this while it's sitting here. Sprinkling on a little bit. And since you're not putting a whole lot of oil in, you're going to have to keep watch on this. And it smells real good in your kitchen. I think there's nothing smells better than cooking onions. All right, we're going to put our garlic in, and it was, I believe, no, that was not 2 teaspoons of garlic. Oh, it is 2 teaspoons of garlic, but I'm halving it. Okay, so we only have 1 teaspoon of garlic. Whoop. And you don't want to brown this garlic, and of course I use the minced garlic that comes in the jar that you get from the produce department. That needs to be refrigerated. And I didn't realize this, that garlic really holds a lot of spores and things in it, and it's one of the dangerous things, and they don't leave when you cook it. It needs to be refrigerated. So you want to remember that. And also you don't want it to burn in here, otherwise it'll get real bitter. Okay, and I'm going to transfer it to a bowl. While it's still hot, I'm going to put our other oil in there, which is another 2 teaspoons, I believe. And this will be nice and hot to cook our chicken. Okay. And when you cook a chicken breast like this, I always like to put it, or you should put it, presentation side down first, and the presentation side is the nice breast looking side. So you want that to go first so it has a nice brown on it. And I always like when a recipe calls for this to brown on both sides, and then you put the stuff back in and it's all done. I don't always trust that because the breasts are, you know, thicker on one end. So I always like to finish it off in the oven. And then, you know, I don't have to worry that my chicken's not cooked all the way through. Because if you've got a chicken breast that's this thick, you know, maybe that's going to take 10 minutes instead of 8. So let's not get it to the table and find out that you should have cooked it 10 minutes instead of only 8. So that's just one of my little pet peeves. Okay. Now to this, we're going to add our curry and clove. We're going to add our petite tomatoes. And we're going to add our cinnamon stick. 1 cinnamon stick. And I believe we add our raisins, don't we? And our raisins. Okay. So I'm not going to worry how long I'm cooking this chicken on the stove. I just want it to get a nice brown. Okay, there we go. Looks good. Kind of brown on both sides. Okay. I'm going to put our rice. And if you wanted to save the rice to put on the plate, if you were cooking that while you were doing this, that's fine. You can keep the rice warm while you've got the chicken in the oven, and then serve the rice on the plate, put the chicken on top. Either way you want to do that. Let me turn that off because I think we got that browned on both sides. Now, this is browned on both sides. You can see. I'll hold it up. You can see in the mirror. Looks wonderful. However, we know that that's not cooked. But it looks pretty. So we are going to put it in our pan. Let's stop sizzling. And we are going to pour this over it. I did not. Did it say? Did it say to? Did I do something wrong? No, I didn't. I thought about that before when I was making it, and I think it needs the extra juice. Okay, we're gonna pour this over here. And since I only have 3 chicken breasts, we're not gonna dump the whole thing. We wanna put that kind of on the chicken. And I think that, we've talked about cilantro before. You use it in a lot of Mexican cooking or, any kind of. And it's just, sometimes you like it, you can like it or not. Okay, we're going to sprinkle that on. And I went ahead and I toasted some almonds already. And all I did for the toasted almonds was take the sliced almonds from the bag, put them on a little cookie sheet and put them in the oven for about 8 minutes. And it makes them nice and toasty. It brings out the nut flavor a little bit more than just putting them in right from the bag. Okay, very pretty. Now we're going to get this in the oven. Ooh. Ooh. And it did turn out nice. You could put it on a plate. Let me get a plate.